အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါကျွန်တော်တို့ရဲ့ SBTV Business Talk Show ကနေကြိုဆိုလိုက်ပါတယ် Hello everyone, welcome to our SBTV Business Talk Show. For today's guest, we are inviting Mr. Alexandre, who is one of the most successful business entrepreneurs and e-commerce master from Belgium. Let's get started. Hello, Alex.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Today?
Pretty good.
Okay, so we have some important question from you. So let's get started.
Sure.
Okay. So first of all, could you please introduce yourself, please?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
So I'm Alex. I'm from Belgium, like you said. Right now I'm 28 years old, and I started my first business when I was a student back in 2016. So that was like around 7 years ago. And I've been able to create multiple businesses online through e-commerce and to also coaching businesses. And so right now I'm living in Thailand, and I also help other people scale their e-commerce businesses with my company, which we help other e-commerce entrepreneurs to increase their revenue.
So how did you become successful in e-commerce industry?
Well, I didn't start with e-commerce. My first business that I started was creating a YouTube channel, actually. So when I was a student in Belgium, I was in the university to become a lawyer, but I didn't want to have a 9-to-5 job, So I was looking for ways to create other sources of income, and I wanted to create an online business which could give me the freedom and be able to travel the world and be my own boss. So I started a YouTube channel back then in French, where I was teaching people about music production, because I was also a music producer on the side. And so, a lot of people started to ask me how to make music. And so I started to teach them, create an online course.
Online courses.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we started coaching people in France. And so that was the first business that I did back then.
Okay.
But then,
and after that?
Yeah, the problem with that is I pretty much reached the maximum amount that I was able to generate with this business. It was capped, like I was not able to scale it further. So I was looking for something else that I could scale and have bigger revenue to grow the company. And also this first business was relying on my personal brand, right? I had to be the one creating the videos and coaching the people. So without me, like the business was not sustainable. So I first heard about e-commerce maybe in 2017, 18, because I had a few friends of mine who were doing it at the time. And so I thought it was interesting because, you can really grow and scale to bigger levels because, with advertising and stuff like that, you can reach the whole world. Yeah.
Okay. So you get that idea from?
Yeah, a few friends. Yeah.
Oh, a few friends.
I had friends that were doing it at the time, and also, I saw some videos online, which I thought were interesting. Yeah.
CM 2ကနေပြီးတော့မှအဓိကဝန်ဆောင်မှုပေးနေတာတွေကတော့ company registration, real estate, tax, custom clearance နဲ့ဥပဒေအကြံပေးတဲ့ law firm အစရှိတဲ့ service တွေအတွက်လိုအပ်တဲ့ solution တွေအကုန်လုံးကိုတကယ်စီးရင်ကိုင်များဥပဒေကျွမ်းကျင်ပညာရှင်များနဲ့ဆောင်ရွက်ပေးရရှိပါတယ်ခင်ဗျ။စီးရင်ကိုင်နဲ့အကုန်ဝန်ဆောင်မှုများစီးရင်ရေးသွေးမှုစီးရင်ကိုင်စနစ်ဒီဇိုင်းနဲ့စီးရင်စစ်တို့တွေအရေးသွေးကောင်းမွန်သောဝန်ဆောင်မှုများအတွက်အဓိကအထူးဆောင်ရွက်ပေးရရှိပါတယ်ခင်ဗျ။
So may I know why did you choose the e-commerce industry?
Yeah. So, it's like I said before, I was stuck in my previous business where, I couldn't scale it. I couldn't take it to the next step. And so I was looking for something that would allow me to reach the goal that I set for myself. So I think for people that want to start in e-commerce, it's important for them to know what exactly do they want to do, what exactly do they want to reach as a goal, and then choose the vehicle, the business that can get them there, right? Okay. So like for me, why did I started e-commerce is because I saw that it has potential to get me where I wanted to be in terms of numbers, because there's no limit with e-commerce, right? If you can sell to 10 million people, then you can make a lot of money. Also, it's a growing market. Like e-commerce worldwide is a $4.2 trillion industry, so that's really
so
huge.
demanding.
Yeah. So if you can put yourself in a way where you can just get a small percent of this $4.2 trillion industry, then you can make a lot of money, obviously. And since even more since the COVID pandemic, like more and more people buy online, whereas before you would go to the store and buy stuff. Like it's been booming since then even more. So if you want to have a successful business, I think it's important to be like in a growing industry where there's more and more demand each year, and where you can sell stuff to people in order to make a profit. Yeah.
Okay. And I also saw your website. And could you please tell me more about your experiences of your e-commerce journey?
Yeah, so you mean like when I first started and how did that work?
Yes.
Okay. So when I first started, it was hard because, of course, when you don't know how to do something, it's hard, right? You have to learn it through experience, through mistakes, and there's like a learning curve to it. So when I first started, a few years ago, I had a lot of failures because I was trying to sell some products that were not really good and they didn't resonate well with the market. And the thing when you start e-commerce, so in my scenario, I do drop shipping. So there's different type of e-commerce. There's like Amazon, for example, you can sell on Amazon, then Amazon ship the product. You can sell on Shopify, like a drop shipping. You can also sell here like on Lazada and stuff like that, on Shopee, where like you ship the product to the customer. For me, I'm doing mostly drop shipping. So I do advertising. People buy on my store. When I get one order, the supplier send the product to the customer. I don't have inventory. So that's one thing that is good as well, because you don't have to pay a lot of money to buy maybe 1,000 units, 2,000 units upfront. So like at first when I tried product, it didn't work because I was not doing things right. But then once I improve and learn more about how to create the right type of advertising, how to have the right product, the right offer, then I was able to find success. But of course, at the beginning, it was not easy. I spent a lot of money on advertising without making it back. But eventually, I was able to learn from my mistakes and turn that into a profit.
That's important. So I also want to know that, is there any difficulties or challenges you faced with in the e-commerce industry? So what can be the major difficulties in e-commerce?
Okay, well, I can speak for the dropshipping part because each business model have different difficulties. For example, on Amazon would be different than Lazada and Shopee or like something like that. For me, what I'm doing is Facebook advertising, sending people to my online store, and then people buy the product. Once I get the order, I send the order to my supplier, and the supplier send the product. So like the mistakes that I did before was not having the right type of product, because when you have to pay for advertising, you want to make sure there's enough margin, like a profit margin, in order for you to be profitable. So if you can sell something that's a bit more expensive, it will allow you to have a better profit margin. For example, in the beginning, I was trying to sell products that were like 20 euro. So like, it's not enough to make a substantial profit. Right now, the product that I sell, they are around 50 euro. So, it's the same cost roughly, but there's more profit margin. So if you can target like more high ticket item, it's a good thing. If you want to sell on Facebook, no, yeah, that's pretty much about it.
CM 2 ကနေပြီးတော့မှအဓိကဝန်ဆောင်မှုပေးနေတာတွေကတော့ company registration, real estate, tax, custom clearance နဲ့ဥပဒေအကြံပေးတဲ့ law firm အစရှိတဲ့ service တွေအတွက်လိုအပ်တဲ့ solution တွေအကုန်လုံးကိုတကယ့်စည်ရင်းကိုင်များဥပဒေကျွမ်းကျင်ပညာရှင်များနဲ့ဆောင်ရွက်ပေးရရှိပါတယ်ခင်ဗျ စီးရင်ကိုင်နဲ့အကုန်ဝန်ဆောင်မှုများစီးရင်ရေးသွေးမှုစီးရင်ကိုင်စနစ်ဒီဇိုင်းနဲ့စီးရင်စစ်တို့တွေအရေးသွေးကောင်းမွန်သောဝန်ဆောင်မှုများအတွက်အဓိကအထူးဆောင်ရွက်ပေးလျက်ရှိပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
So like today, like e-commerce, like is very famous among the young people, and they want to start their own business.
Yeah.
So could you please tell me about the advantages and disadvantages of the e-commerce?
Yeah. I want to come back on one of the things that you mentioned before about the experience. One of the things that was hard as well is that when you start something, you kind of excited and you think it's a good idea, so you have motivation. But usually, it's not your first go that will make you successful. So it's important to commit to something and to say, okay, even if it fails the first time, the second time, the third time, you have to keep trying. If you believe in e-commerce, or if you believe in the thing that you're trying to do, like it's not going to work most probably the first time. So the hard part for me was like, I'm testing this product, you know, making advertising and stuff like that. It doesn't work. Okay, next one. And for example, in my case, like I think the 7th product that I tried was successful. So I had to try like 6 products, and each time, you know, spending 200-300 euro to test them. I could have just said, okay, it doesn't work. I try another business, but I knew that if I keep trying, eventually I would find a winning product, and the money that I made on the winning product eventually paid me back all the losses that I occurred before. So that's one thing that's important to keep in mind. Now, for the people that are considering starting in e-commerce, pros and cons. One thing that is a pro but can also be a con is there's low barrier to entry. So that means almost everybody can do it because you don't need to have a lot of money to get started. You don't need to have a lot of skills to get.
To invest
yeah,
so much money.
if you do it right, you don't need to invest so much money. So that's good for people that want to start. But what that means is the competition increase as well. Because there's low barrier to entry, everybody can do it. So everybody does it. More competition. So you have to find a way to be better than the competition, and that can be by, you know, having a better strategy, having a better marketing skills, knowing how to create a better website, knowing how to market your product better. That's one of the things. Yeah.
So like in this sector, I think the strategies is the key.
Yeah, it's about your skill set, knowing how to be better than the competition. So in my case, it's like creating better video ads, having a better copywriting, having a better website, or having other products that you can sell to increase the average order value and stuff like that.